Welcome to Raccoon Shitty, where we campaigned for gun control and marched against the NRA. I'm Frank, back again with my co host Thomas, and today we're discussing the fifth Paul W.S. Anderson film, Resident Evil Retribution. With our Resident Evil expert, Riley. Hello, Riley.
Hello.
So, Riley, what's your experience with this franchise?
Yeah, well, I think the first game that I fully played was Resident Evil 7. And I think that was around the time of like lockdown, quarantine, possibly right before. And since then, I've gone back and played a lot of the main series titles. Um, Not a ton of the spin offs. I've seen most of the movies now. So that's pretty much my experience.
Yeah, I am sorry for that. I think when I had texted you, you said you only watched the first three.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also noticed on your letterboxd, you made Katie watch this too.
Yeah, well, she was just kind of in the room and came in like halfway through. So I counted it as a I made Katie watch this, but she
Okay.
did. She was mostly on her phone, so thankfully
That's
she
probably the
didn't.
best way to watch this movie, coming in halfway
Probably
through and then sitting on your phone.
exactly right.
It
Complete
was the
background noise.
This is like second screen content before that was really a thing. And we have a little game here
mm,
for all of our guests. Without Googling it, could
hmm
you correctly order the titles of these movies? The Paul W.S. Anderson ones?
Okay, the live action ones.
Yes. Hmm.
I think I can. I've spent a lot of time looking at them. So, Resident Evil's the first one, and then I believe it's Resident Evil Apocalypse, and then Extinction, and then
Hmm.
what was the one before this one? Afterlife,
Okay.
Retribution, and then the final chapter.
You know what? You fucking aced it. You
I
aced
wanted
them.
to. I always want to throw in a. I had like this weird like Mandela effect thing where I swore they made a movie called Resident Evil Revelations. So I wanted to throw that in there, but I don't think that
Yeah.
movie exists. I swore that was Revelations.
No. There's a game called Revelations.
Oh, there's that. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That's the one that takes place on a boat. And it
Right.
came out on the. I think we actually talk about it today. But we
Okay.
can talk about it now. Yeah, yeah.
That's the spin-off. Yeah, I haven't played
Yeah,
them
it's a
yet.
spin-off. It came out on the 3DS.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know. But you
3DS.
can play it everywhere now, pretty
I
much.
remember reading about that in my Nintendo Power when I was younger.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I
was a big
remember
deal to
seeing
have an
that.
M-rated game on the 3DS.
Yeah. I think it was one of the first games to support the Circle Pad Pro too. Remember
Oh, I
that
remember
thing?
that. That was a big deal. That was a
That hunk
big
of
deal.
plastic.
Well, now two people have correctly guessed the order of the movies, so I guess maybe we just don't know the order of the
No, well,
movies.
no, in all fairness, Jesse thought Retribution was movie 2 and movie 5. Uh
That's true.
he didn't guess Apocalypse at all. So
That's awesome.
Riley is currently at the top of the leaderboard. If you want, you
Woo!
could try and name all the animated ones.
I
Uh,
would fail completely.
yeah.
Completely.
All right. Well, we should move on with the history of the project and details of release.
So after the release of Resident Evil Afterlife, Screen Gems and Anderson had discussed the possibility of shooting a fifth and sixth entry to the series back to back, but Anderson decided it would be better to just focus all of his attention on the fifth one first. Really, that
Yeah,
this was all of his attention?
this was all of his effort. No divided attention. Yeah.
He put 120% into this film.
I will
Yeah.
say, the action and like a lot of the stuff in here does feel better constructed than the previous movies that he's directed in the franchise.
hmm
I mean, the script is still as bad as it always is, but
Oh,
uh,
just the worst.
yeah, really, really bad stuff. But I will say, I think, is incrementally getting better as a director. And I think by the time we get to Resident
Mm.
Evil, like movie 17 with Paul W.S. Anderson, we might
Yeah.
actually get a good movie.
It's still Mila Jovovich, and she's like 80.
Yeah, but I think one day, maybe, if they didn't, spoilers, stop the series after the next movie, maybe one day he could have made something halfway decent.
To be fair, the rest of Paul W.S. Anderson's filmography is just essentially spiritual successors to this movie, also starring Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there's
Have you
didn't he
Monster
seen?
direct the
Hunter.
Monster Hunter movie?
I was about to ask. Have you seen that?
And it's awful. I'm also a Monster Hunter fan. It's actually terrible. I hate that movie so much.
Yeah, my experience with Monster Hunter is I bought World and Iceborne when
Mm,
Iceborne came out, and it was on sale as a bundle, and then I never launched it. So it's just been sitting in my Steam library for like 5 years.
man, it's a
Um,
good game.
I
I
know,
like
but
Monster
I
Hunter
needed
World.
people to play it with, and nobody else
Yeah,
wanted to take the plunge. So I bought it, and then I just felt like an asshole.
you do. Yeah, you do gotta have like a dedicated group.
All right,
Just for clarity, Paul W.S. Anderson is directing an adaptation of House of the Dead with Mila Jovovich. So my theory still stands.
he is not done making these video game movies.
No, not at all.
Maybe never will be done with these video game movies. I mean, in all fairness to him, I don't know how much money Monster Hunter made. I have a feeling it probably didn't make money.
Hmm.
I can
Wasn't it released
quickly.
during COVID?
It was 2020. Yeah.
He gets a pass on that one then, I guess.
Yeah,
Studios are
that's
like, well,
true.
this would have made bank if it wasn't COVID.
Yeah, it cost 60 million. It made 47.9. But it also came out in December 2020, which is arguably one of the worst times in history to ever release a film. So, you know,
Wait, I can't even believe they got 60 million for a Monster Hunter movie. That's actually insane.
well, what I think it is, yeah, Sony Pictures through Screen Gems. Constantine film. Yeah, so this is all the same people that were funding these movies. And it's
Right.
like the same producers, the same distribution companies, and it's like
It's like a
these
pyramid
movies make
scheme.
money. Like we talked about it in the first episode of our show, which isn't out yet because we're recording them all in advance. But at one point in history, Resident Evil was the highest grossing horror franchise of all time.
Whoa.
And it is still number 3. The
Whoa.
only two that beat it out are the Conjuring universe
Yeah.
and Alien.
Alien.
Every other horror franchise you can imagine has made less money than Resident Evil. This is a franchise that's grossed like over $1.2 billion combined.
I would have just assumed Saw out of pure like number of movies that it would have made more
Yeah,
than
and
this
I,
series.
I agree. And you would think like with so many of these, there's like 20 Halloween movies. There's so many
Yes.
Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Streets. There's 7 Screams. Nothing has topped it. Like it's still
Wow.
on the podium. And like same with video games too. It used to be the highest grossing video game franchise and it's still number 3. Only Pokemon and Mario are above it now. But not even
Wow.
Sonic with the Paramount movies.
That's actually incredible.
Probably not for long, but
Yeah, I'm sure when Sonic 4 comes out, it'll pass it up. But it's crazy because the franchise has only had one movie in the past 10 years. Final Chapter was 2016. They did that failed reboot that nobody watched in 2021. So I don't know. It's just kind of mind blowing that they really haven't tried this decade, like the past 10 years, not a decade, but
Yeah.
and they still are one of the top 3. So
Man.
I guess they, these movies make a lot of money, and they're like, well, Anderson, Jovovich, fuck it, we'll give him $60 million.
I guess
This film
so.
cost 65, and the last one cost 60. So
Oh
yeah,
my god.
we'll get it more into the box office later, but I guess it makes sense. I'm also seeing here that one of the production companies involved was Tencent Pictures, which might also explain where this money is coming from.
What did Tencent do?
Well, Tencent is a like mega conglomerate in China that has bought up like a shitload of video game developers, and like they have a stake in
Mm.
Epic Games. They have a stake in Sony now. I think I might be wrong about that. They've got their fingers in every pie. So
Wow.
just seemingly infinite money in this investment firm. So it's like I guess China's way of getting into American culture and stuff.
Yeah.
they're trying to influence us.
Yeah, let's see. Tencent. Yeah, they put money into Wonder Woman, Venom,
Whoa.
the Warcraft movie, Kong Skull Island, Bumblebee, Men in Black International,
Oh, I like Kong
Terminator
Skull
Dark
Island.
Fate.
That's
Yeah,
probably how
so
they're getting their movies in China, is by like letting them invest in it.
Mm.
maybe,
I
maybe.
don't know.
So wait,
Uh,
Tencent invested in Retribution?
yes. No, sorry. Monster Hunter.
Oh, and Monster. Okay.
Sorry, we're getting a little off topic, but
No, it's okay. We are. It's fine.
it is fascinating. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, market value of $500 billion in 2018. So these days, I'd imagine it's much higher. Anyway,
Back to the show.
yeah, back to the show. Thomas.
Retribution would feature the debut of several franchise favorites from the games, including Barry Burton, played by Kevin Durand, Ada Wong, played by Lee Bingbing, and finally, Leon Kennedy, played by Johan Erb. Claire, Chris, and Kmart from the previous film are nowhere to be seen.
Yep.
No explanation given. I guess they just died in the boat attack.
They're going to show up in the next one like nothing happened.
I mean, that's what this franchise does. Jill disappeared. Jill disappeared in the second movie, was never referenced again, and here she is. So,
yeah, Sienna Guillory would make her full return as Jill Valentine after appearing in the mid-credits scene in the last film as Jill.
Can I just say that like mid-credit scene when they revealed her, I could tell they were trying to do like some big twist, but I fully said out loud to myself, "Who is that?" Like I didn't remember. I was like, okay. Then I looked it up on Letterboxd. Like, oh, that's Jill Valentine. Okay, I guess so.
Yeah. Well, I agree. It's like this is a character who last appeared in the second Anderson movie,
Right.
and we're on movie 4 now at the mid-credits scene, very end of movie 4. She looks totally different. She's wearing a cat suit. She's got bleach blonde hair. They never address her by name, I don't think, in that post-credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like the only people who would know it's her are people who have like really good facial memory and have vivid memories of Resident Evil Apocalypse, which I don't know, who that would be. Although I do
They're
think
out
that's
there.
one of the better ones as far as these movies go. I like Nemesis.
Oh yeah.
I think it might just be to be like, hey, look, fans of the game, look what we have.
Yeah.
Remember this?
Which also, her change is not talked about in that either, because she just kind of shows up and they're like, oh, it's Jill. And I'm like, that's a blonde woman. That's not Jill.
Yeah, so I've never played RE5. RE5 and 6 are the two mainline games I haven't played. I mean, I played 5, I never beat it. I never got to the part where Jill shows back up. So, Thomas, you're saying in RE5, the game, they never explain Jill? Like,
No,
with the chest gem and...
Well, they do, but like, for the whole game, Chris is like, oh man, Jill's fucking dead. And then she shows up and he's like, oh my god, it's Jill, but she has blonde hair. And that she wasn't shown with blonde hair in flashbacks, I don't think.
Do they ever explain what the chest gem thing is, or like how it works in RE5? Because they certainly don't here. And that was one of my notes for later in the movie.
I don't think they go into it that much. They're like, oh, it's controlling her brain.
Okay, great. Riley, did you play RE5?
That is one of the games I have not played.
What about 6?
Also have not played.
Okay,
because
so
I'm a little worried about their reputation.
Well,
I wanted to play the good ones first.
Thomas will tell you, 6, you should be worried.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
It's awful. Everyone's like, oh, it's the best gameplay in the series. And I'm like, is it?
Whoa.
And it has quick time events. I've never been caught on a quick time event before, and they had one in this game that I could not beat. And I was literally button mashing the shit out of my controller. It took me like 5 days to beat it.
That's awesome.
I guess.
That's called good. That's good game design. That's great.
Yeah.
And on the search for Leon, Anderson would talk to GameSpot saying, quote, firstly, he's a major action hero, but also he has the floppy hair. And you have no idea how hard it is to find someone who looks like that. They're usually mutually exclusive. It's like the guys with floppy hair are all kind of doing British period movies, like Brideshead Revisited. And the guys who are top action heroes usually have buzz cuts. But I think after a long and a very exhaustive search, we finally found the right guy in Johan Erb. Does he not know that wigs exist?
Yeah, that was my first thought after reading this.
I thought he was just in a wig. I didn't think that was his actual hair.
Yeah, it didn't really fit his face shape at all.
No, it looks wrong. It looks so wrong.
Watching this now, like, as of this week, it's hard not to look at him and think about, like, Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy in the season 5 of The Boys. Like, that's what I think of when it's like, okay, middle part, got the jawline, He'd be a good Leon.
Oh yeah.
But this guy did not have the sauce.
No.
Well, he was originally supposed to play Chris, I think, in 4.
That's interesting because I thought Wentworth Miller, like the Prison Break guy, I thought he looked the part for Chris Redfield to me, and was decent enough. Like his voice and his mannerisms and his facial expression, I was like, okay, that's a pretty decent Chris Redfield. I could not imagine this Johann guy as him, even
Yeah.
though he's not a very good Leon either.
No. I agree. I think Wentworth Miller is one of the best, well, probably actors, period, in this franchise. And like one of the only people really trying in Afterlife.
He worked out for 3 weeks.
Yes, I was about to say he didn't know what Chris Redfield looked like, and he was like shown a picture or like had looked up pictures when they were like 3 weeks out from shooting, and he's like, I'm never gonna fucking bulk up and look like this guy. Are you kidding me? So he just did a bunch of cardio. And he's like,
Awesome.
well, I'm going for a different kind of muscle.
They didn't have a steroids budget.
Yeah.
He finds a used needle on the street. He's like, oh shit.
I mean, they're smoking green herbs all the time. They don't know where those things are coming from.
Green,
could be-
red, yellow.
Yeah. I would
They're
not
they're
smoke.
mixing them up.
I would not smoke a blue herb in my life. Like I would be scared. So yeah, several elements of RE4 and 5 are introduced, like the Las Plagas parasite, and there was also a Hummer chase sequence like the one in RE5, and then again, like we discussed, Jill's chest emblem thing.
The bug.
Yeah, the bug. Yes, the
I just
little
called it the
scarab. Longtime producer of the film franchise, Jeremy Bolt, would say that the film was cinematically inspired by Inception, Westworld, Blade Runner, and the Alien franchise. First of all, no. But second of all, what a broad fucking list.
Yeah.
Like, I guess the, like, simulation soundstage stuff kind of makes sense when you're thinking of Westworld and Inception.
Yeah.
But I don't really get the other ones at all.
It's just so indicative to me, like these inspirations are so far removed from like the survival horror of the video game franchise. And even like the first Resident Evil movie had that aspect to it, but this movie has like none of that. So it's just these 4 movies are like totally representative of how far away they've strayed from like the classic Resident Evil feel.
Yeah, I agree. I'm never worried for anybody's safety in these movies.
No.
Like, Alice isn't even superhuman in this one, and she's still basically superhuman. That's so funny. I guess maybe Blade Runner because of the Tokyo set and the New York, the new Times Square thing, all the neon, but like, not. Okay. I guess maybe because of Becky, because of the little girl. Like, I guess she's basically a replicant. I think I actually called her a replicant in my notes when I was watching the movie. You know, whatever. It's so broad.
Could it be because I know an Alien movie came out in 2012? Was there anything related to Inception, Westworld, and Blade Runner around those times? Could he just be like throwing out big names that have something coming out around that time to try and like get in on that free publicity?
You know what I think it might. Well, I think the one coming out around that time was Prometheus, which I think is pretty. I have not seen any of the prequels yet. I've only seen the first 4 Alien movies. So I can't speak to Prometheus. I've only seen clips because I'm fascinated by the engineer, but for some reason I just don't want to sit down and watch it. Maybe it's the like 5 seconds in which Becky is kidnapped by the like giant licker and Alice has to go chase it, and there's like the egg sacs against the wall. Because that's kind of just the fight against the queen from Aliens. Except
I
worse.
noticed that when I watched it. I was like, this is just Aliens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except worse because that fight lasts like what, 5 seconds, and Alice does a flip and shoots it in the head, and that's it.
It's so stupid.
It's like no one else thought to do that. The exposed brain on the outside of its skull.
Literally.
Oh,
Well, it's
where's
like-
its weak point?
Yeah, where can we possibly damage this creature?
Because I think even in the first movie, she's like stabbing its tongue and stuff, and it's like, no, go for the brain. The brain is right there. And like Afterlife, Retribution was also filmed in 3D. Riley, we learned last week that Paul W.S. Anderson is friends with James Cameron, and that he got a great look at Avatar while it was in production, and that he actually used James Cameron's camera system that was developed for Avatar to shoot
No
Afterlife.
shit.
Uh, yeah,
Wow.
he said that 3D was going to be the future of movies. He was all in on it. That's the reason he cites for coming back to direct, because he didn't direct two or three. He directed one and then he stepped away because he
Right.
wanted to do Alien versus Predator and then Death Race. At the time, maybe it seemed like that was true. I mean, that movie made over $300 million.
Hey,
Afterlife did. So
do we have any data about how the 3D looked? Like any like anecdotes from anyone in this call?
I tried. I was um, acquiring a 3D copy of the movie to watch on my VR headset, and it just wouldn't work. I tried for like 2 hours to set this up. It worked just fine on the desktop, but obviously the desktop's not 3D, so it was just like two movies next to each other.
Right.
Uh, so
Just cross your eyes.
there's nowhere to rent it. There's nowhere to rent it. Like, I don't even know if you can rent 3D movies anymore. There certainly isn't on the Meta Quest, which is
Yeah.
what I have, like the Quest 2. But I think even on like Prime Video and stuff, if you want to rent a movie, do they even offer 3D options? Because nobody makes the 3D TVs anymore.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but
That's what I would
thought,
have said is you need a 3D TV and
yeah.
to have like the special disc. I don't know.
It's okay when it comes back around into it'll be 4D now though.
They're going to
Maybe
start
5D.
using AI to retroactively make movies
Oh,
3D. So you're going to have like ET in 3D.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
that's going to happen.
Oh,
I'm
I
just
can't
calling
wait.
it here.
I can't wait. It's going to suck so bad. I
It's
can't
going to
wait for
be
that.
terrible, but that's what's going to happen.
Citizen Kane in 3D.
Oh
I
my.
don't think Spielberg would let that happen to ET though, because they did that conversion of Jaws and that was really good.
He's only going to live so long, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They're going to wait. And then they're going to make an AI Spielberg who's like, I condone all of this. This is great. I love AI. I love 3D AI.
Well, he of course he'd love AI. He made the movie. So filming took place near the end of 2011. They did film in the actual Times Square and in Red Square in Moscow, which was pretty surprising to me. I didn't think Russia was open to Hollywood productions. Although I guess this is also somewhat a German production too. Still though, kind of weird.
What's more surprising is they filmed in the Red Square in Moscow, and they somehow made it look like the cheapest green screen I've ever
yeah,
seen.
yeah, I thought that too. I was like, those buildings look kind of fake, but I did the research. I know they actually filmed here.
Like hearing you say that they really filmed in Moscow, like I felt the neurons in my brain trying to make sense of that.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. They really did. And a lot of the
Insanity.
movie was filmed in Toronto in a studio, which makes sense. They shoot
That makes
most of these
sense.
things in Toronto. I remember one of the ones we covered. The police were called because there was a plane crash, or yeah, I think it was last week on the plane crash from Afterlife, where Tig from Sons of Anarchy crashes the plane. Uh, People thought that was real, like that was a real plane crash in the street or wherever, and were calling the police. This time there actually was a real tragedy. There was a platform in the Toronto studio space that collapsed during the second day of production, which injured 16 people, with 10 brought to the nearest hospital for emergency treatment. EMTs had a difficult time telling which injuries were real and which were fake, given the zombie costumes and fake blood of all the people on set.
That
Uh,
Wow.
that's kind of
that part
funny.
of it is funny. I don't laugh at the injuries. This
No one
franchise
died.
has
It's
a
fine.
sure. Not yet. As we'll find out next week, Anderson plays very fast and loose with workplace safety and unions and stuff like that. So
It would be the greatest dishonor of my life to die on the set of Resident Evil Retribution.
oh god,
What a
that's
terrible
true.
way to go.
Dressed as a zombie.
Hey, just for the job you want.
And now we'll move on to the state of movies and Resident Evil at the time of release. Other notable movies that released around this time included The Bourne Legacy, The Campaign, The Expendables 2, Paranorman, The Possession, End of Watch, Hotel Transylvania, Pitch Perfect, Looper, Taken 2, Frankenweenie, and Argo. That's actually kind of stacked.
Yeah, so this is all like within 30 days or so of Retribution's
30
release.
days?
Yeah.
Man.
And you know what? There's actually a lot of competition this time. Last week it didn't really feel like there was, but a lot of action movies here. Born
Mm-hmm.
Legacy, Expendables 2, Taken 2. Uh,
End of Watch.
yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen End of Watch, but I think that, yeah.
Is that the one
So
with Arnold?
I think so.
No, End of Watch
Riley,
is the one with Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena, and it's like we're gonna do the
oh,
found footage thing, but with cop body cams.
What's the one with Arnold then?
there's one called
Isn't it very similar?
something
Oh,
like
the one with Johnny Knoxville.
I think it's directed by David Ayer.
I thought this was the one directed by David Ayer.
Hold for googling.
Friend of the show, David Ayer.
End of the show. All right, we're looking.
Sabotage is the one I was thinking of.
And he's in a movie End of Days, but that is a very different film.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, still, title's pretty close. Maybe that's what Thomas was thinking of.
Arnold and
Mandela
Johnny
Effect.
No, there's a movie, The Last Stand, but that's not.
Oh, yes. End,
2013.
last. Basically
Yes.
the same word.
And as far as Resident Evil goes, within the 2-year gap between Afterlife and Retribution, it was the busiest period for the game franchise since the film started, with 4 games coming out during that time. So first was 2011's Resident Evil: The Mercenaries 3D, which was a 3DS title that is just a standalone version of the Mercenaries bonus mode that started in RE4,
Mhm.
which
That's
it's honestly not a bad sell to me. Like, I think Mercenaries is really fun. So you could pick this thing up for like 30-40 bucks or something and just play Mercenaries all day. Like, I don't know.
And I think it was like a multiplayer thing too.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can double check real quick. Oh, I can already hear Riley hacking into the mainframe.
I'm hacking the mainframe. Sorry.
Well, that's what Thomas always says when I'm clacking away. Does it have multiplayer?
Yeah, the game includes Wi-Fi connectivity for cooperative play from players around the world.
Around the world. That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, no, Mercenaries is cool. I like it. It kind of reminds me of how like people have been asking for a standalone like Call of Duty Zombies game for like 15 years.
That's what I was going to say.
It's like, you can sell it off as its own thing for cheaper, and I think there's an audience for stuff like this. I don't know how well it sold, but another 3DS title, like we mentioned earlier, Revelations, would release in January 2012. And unlike Mercenaries, it was a full-fledged title in the same vein as RE4 and 5, with the over-the-shoulder camera, while also claiming to bring the series closer to its survival horror roots. I played the demo for Revelations on the 3DS, and I remember thinking it looked really good for a 3DS game.
Yeah.
The lack of dual analog was a little off-putting, but not as much as you would think, especially because the game is designed around it.
Yeah, I bet the best way to play it is to play the PS5 or PS4 port.
Yeah,
That
yeah, I have it on
nowadays.
Steam, and I just have never installed it. And the 3DS did have gyro support too, so that might have made up for the lack of an analog stick. Because I guess that was also the case with Ocarina of Time. You could use the gyro to aim like the slingshot and stuff. Another game we have here in March 2012 was Operation Raccoon City. I played this one. A multiplayer shooter set between the events of RE2 and 3, in which you play as a squad of Umbrella operators trying to cover up the outbreak. Yeah, so this was on like the PS3 and the 360 and stuff. It was like 4-player co-op. You're going through levels, recreated levels from RE2 and 3 in 3D, like fully third-person over-the-shoulder shooter stuff. So it's kind of like Left 4 Dead, but it's also kind of cool because it's like, at this point in history, there was no RE2 or 3 remake. So getting to go through Raccoon City like this was actually kind of unique. And you would see like stuff from I almost said from the movies, but it's kind of like a movie where it's like a prequel or a parallel story. You're like seeing characters from the Raccoon City outbreak in the background, and you like interact with them every now and then. It's kind of like a Rogue One thing, maybe. I don't
Can't
know how
you
to
kill
describe it.
Leon?
Yeah, you actually can kill. I think I never beat it because I just played through most of it at a friend's house. Every time I went over after school, and I think he got bored of it, so we just never played it again. But yeah, there are different endings which are non-canon, which would involve killing the protagonists. Yeah, so yeah, cool game. I mean, it probably sucks today, but at the time, I thought it was a really fun idea.
I remember this one vividly because I feel like around that time was when I kind of started to know of Resident Evil, and that was like the one that was coming out around that time. So I had like the guys and the The gas masks on the cover.
Well, yeah, I mean RE5 was their best-selling game until 2018 as a company. So after RE5, like whether you like it or not, you're gonna hear about Resident Evil. And I left this one for you, Thomas, because I can't speak for it.
Finally, in October, there was the release of Resident Evil 6. This game leaned much further into blockbuster action than the last two numbered entries and featured 4 full length co op campaigns. And despite its strong sales out of the gate, the game failed to meet the extremely high sales expectation that Capcom held. That, combined with its middling critical reception, led Capcom to reevaluate the series in the years to come. And what I have always said is kind of surprising because I know it didn't sell like to what they expected, but it still sold a lot. So to me, the fact that they actually cared enough to go back and say, maybe we should go back to our roots with Resident Evil 7 is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Mm.
there's 5 years between 6 and 7, where there's no mainline game. Like I think Revelations 2 is the only game that comes out in that gap. I could be wrong, but uh there's certainly no, main entry. And then 7 is just so wildly different. I mean, in some ways it's very close to like the originals, but like we discussed last week, it's got a new setting, a new cast of characters.
New virus.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was a really smart decision.
Yeah,
It's paid
6
off.
is awful.
So we should get into the plot synopsis and discussion. Uh, Alice and the survivors on board the Umbrella Corporation freighter Arcadia are attacked by a fleet of Umbrella gunships led by Alice's brainwashed former ally Jill Valentine. Alice is captured during the attack, and Alice clone awakens in the suburbs living with her husband Todd and their deaf daughter Becky. Zombies attack, revealing the suburbia as Raccoon City during the initial outbreak. As Alice and Becky drive away from the undead with the help of Rain Ocampo, they are hit by a truck, knocking Rain unconscious. Alice hides Becky inside another house, but is killed by a zombified Todd.
Can I say
You could say everything, Riley. Please.
listen, the opening, this what you've just synopsized, I was kind of in. I was a little bit like the reverse opening credits, and then like cut to this like weird, I don't know if it's a dream sequence or what, but like I don't know, I was kind of like, I'm intrigued. What are they gonna do here? Like it was an interesting way to start the movie.
I was definitely intrigued by that. The reverse, and then the reverse of the reverse, just going forward with the
Yes.
sequence of the destruction of the Arcadia. That didn't really do anything for me. It also wasted like 7 minutes of the movie, which I thought was incredible. Like
Well,
I
they
timed
have
it. If you add up the opening title sequence and the recap where Alice is just talking to you
yes.
on a television, it's 7 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, the recap was definitely, I forgot about that part. Yeah, they basically interrupt the pacing to have Alice expound to you the story of the past 4 movies.
Yeah.
So that was not the, I don't know, the best choice, but
No, I don't know. It's not good movie making certainly, but I do think because they do it every time, it's kind of comforting at this point. Like when you watch one of these movies, you're going to hear Alice explain everything to you at the beginning because that's just what she
absolutely.
does.
Yeah.
Like if there's two things we know about Alice, it's that she'll recap all of the previous movies and that she's bonded with the T virus at a cellular level. Those are the two things they never let you forget.
It's kind of like an ASMR video at the beginning of every movie.
yeah, that's what I mean.
yeah.
During this opening title sequence, I did like that they spoil all the future game characters that show up in the movie. They're
Wait,
like
did they
Barry
really?
Burton. It says like this guy is Barry Burton and
Oh, the
Johan
credits
as Leon.
themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like great, no surprises. Okay, cool.
They were on the poster.
Were they? I thought the poster was just her with the gun standing in the wreckage with the weird corset
Okay, wait.
thing.
Yeah, maybe.
To me, the craziest thing about the opening credits is that Michelle Rodriguez gets second billing after Mila Jovovich, which is insanity.
I know. I wrote later in my notes when she shows up in the weird simulation memory thing, like, I'm surprised she even has time for these movies.
Yeah,
Like she is in the Fast and Furious franchise now, which is like
exactly.
on its like eighth movie. They do not need to be doing these as an actor? They surely have enough money. And like, if they do need money, is this really the best way to, to work for however long this thing shot for? Like, instead of doing a different project?
I don't know. Rain wasn't in it that much though, so
That's true, yeah.
could just be like a
Uh,
1 week thing.
yeah, yeah. Maybe it was a Sean Connery and Highlander
I
situation.
was gonna say that too.
Sean Connery was paid $1 million on a $16 million budget, and he only was available for like 2 weeks of the movie. So they had to shoot all his stuff first, and he shot the
Dang.
voiceover in his bathroom. It's a whole thing.
He's living the life, man.
He really is. Well, no, he's dead now,
I was
but
gonna say.
Oh, he was living. He's dead? Wait, he's dead?
yes.
You did? Oh, no, I didn't know that. When
He
did he
ruined his
die?
day.
I'm
That's
sorry, Riley.
actually
I'm sorry.
ruined my day.
He died a few years ago, didn't he?
Oh,
Like
in 2020?
2023?
Oh,
Oh, 2020.
man.
Jesus, he's been dead for 6 years.
Oh my
Oh, I'm
gosh.
sorry.
I've just been
I'll
walking
never-
around my entire life for the past 6 years thinking I lived in the same world as Sean Connery.
I'll never forget him for his quote about how sometimes you just have to hit women. He's
Yeah,
like,
Riley.
sometimes you just need a strong fist.
Riley, he's a problematic fave, okay?
That's right.
I did like somebody goofed like immediately and accidentally mirrored the like the CGI Earth being taken over by the virus is mirrored. I
Oh,
noticed like
man.
they're zooming out and Florida is facing west. And I'm like,
That's
what is happening?
awesome.
I
somebody
noticed
just-
that.
Somebody just fucked up the clip and put it in like backwards.
They're like, I
Like,
think it looks
uh,
better the other way. And they're like, but everything is going to be backwards. It's like, I want it backwards.
I gave the film way too much credit, and I was like, maybe they're doing like a switched perspective thing where I'm on the back of the the monitor. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't know why my brain didn't go immediately to somebody fucked up, which is probably what is the actual
Yeah.
case.
Well, the other thing that I noticed as soon as Alice wakes up from this is the scar is on the wrong shoulder. I texted Thomas while I'm watching. I'm like, is her scar on the wrong shoulder? And he's like,
Really?
yeah, I noticed that too.
Did not notice that.
And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to give like you, Riley. I'm like, maybe I'll give the movie the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's going to be a twist later that she is a clone of the Alice clone that we've been following. And that's why the scar is mirrored. No, they never explain it. And I went back and looked. It is definitely on the wrong shoulder.
And we can talk about it now because we were talking about this off the air. But we were both waiting for like something to happen about this scar, something to be revealed about this scar, because in the first like 2 movies, they have close-ups of the scar on her chest. And then so far they've done nothing with it. They haven't explained how she got it.
I don't even know if it's ever been like directly acknowledged outside of the extreme close-ups. Like Alice, I think, rubs her hand across it when she wakes up in the first movie, but like, yeah, it's like they make a big deal of this scar, and it's like, yeah, it hasn't come up once, and I don't think it will. We've only got one movie left after this.
It's
in
going to be
this,
the main plot
franchise.
point of the next film.
Oh God, there's going to be like a whole second Alice that grows out of it.
You know what? If they do that, honestly, they've changed my entire opinion about this entire series. If that's what it's building to, I would be like, you know what? Maybe this isn't so bad.
I would say that if they haven't already done the clone thing like literally 200 times. I like how all the Umbrella Soldiers, and this is just kind of a note for the whole movie, I guess, they're all just the guy from the box art of Fallout New Vegas. They're all just wearing like gas masks and trench coats. Every single Umbrella Soldier that's not someone from the first movie
It's
is
their uniform.
yeah. I just like how they're the New Vegas box art guy.
Actually, he's part of the Enclave.
He's actually one of the Nevada Desert Rangers, which merged with the NCR.
Oh my god.
Hit him with the actually.
I'm being out geeked. Oh my god.
I thought it was also funny that, they use the recap to retcon things again. They retcon that Jill is one of Alice's closest friends, and also that Alice knows that she's been captured and brainwashed by Umbrella, even though Alice hasn't seen Jill canonically in like 2 years, and they maybe spent a week together. No, not even. They spent like what, days?
Well, I think it was supposed to be implied that they were like together, then she left. So maybe they spent like a year something together, but
Okay.
well, she got so attached to Matt in the first film after like 3 hours, so
I can't believe you guys can keep any of this retconning. Like, what is canon in these movies? I can't keep that straight.
Well, yeah, so it's like in the second movie they reveal that Alice is like superhuman because she's bonded with the T virus at a cellular level, of course. And then in
That's
the
when we
they
learn her
intro-
name too.
and that's when we learn her name. She's never named in the first movie. They introduce
Is
the
that
clones.
true?
Yes, that is true.
You're lying.
They never say her name. It's in the trivia. It's real. I kept that in mind the whole time I was watching. I'm like, when are they gonna? Because
Holy
she wakes up.
shit.
She wakes up with amnesia, and they never say her name. No, they say it at the end of the second movie. I mean, I wouldn't be able to keep it straight if I wasn't watching all of these as homework, basically.
And if we didn't have to do like all the research on it. I kind of liked this intro though.
Yeah.
It was kind of confusing, and I was like, I'm very confused, but I kind of like it.
Mm.
No, I'm with you and Riley. I think it was interesting. Also, I think Jovovich in the blonde wig was kind of doing something for me that she doesn't
I
normally
agree.
do.
Oh my god.
Sorry. I just
Also,
had to get that out
she acted better in this fake clone than she did in the normal movies.
there. Yeah. Her screaming and writhing in pain is kind of just how I feel watching all of these things
Mm.
in that room with the high pitch frequency.
Why did you leave Umbrella?
Not even giving her a chance to answer, just immediately going for the speakers.
So meanwhile, the captured Alice awakens in an underwater facility and is interrogated by Jill. During a power failure, Alice escapes, rearms, and finds herself in a simulation of Shibuya Square, Tokyo. Fighting her way against the zombies, she enters a control room filled with dead Umbrella employees and encounters Ada Wong, one of Albert Wesker's top agents.
Yeah.
Mm.
We brought back her, like, paper dress held together
Yeah.
by, like, fishing wire.
Yeah.
And if you thought Leon's wig was bad,
Oh, buddy.
it,
Yeah.
it literally looks like a cosplay that a teenager would make. Like it's so bad. I guess it's accurate to the game, but it just looks really cheap.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I've always had a problem with the fact that, like, even in the games, she always comes back wearing that stupid dress. It's, like, not practical at all.
She's just cool.
Like, I know she's supposed to be, she didn't start this way, but she turns into, like, this international woman of mystery. You know, she's, like, a super spy, and the point is, like, it's really goofy. And I know it's accurate to the games, but, like, they should have just given her some pants and a tactical vest like everybody else.
You know, when you're a special agent and you really want to blend in, you wear a bright red dress.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, how am I going to blend into this drab Spanish village? Oh, I know, the brightest dress ever created.
When she starts escaping, a drawer opens, and it's like, here, Alice, take this fetish gear and put it on and escape.
Yeah. That, and they even make a joke about it later. Like they're like, "Why are you dressed in a gimp suit or whatever?" I think someone says, and it's like, so they're aware that it's silly.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's Rain. She's like, "Why are you dressed in S&M gear?"
That's what she
Yeah.
says. Yeah.
well, I mean, I think we've kind of reached the conclusion that these movies are just like a weird fetish project for Anderson to show off his wife.
Literally,
Honey, you have to get nude for this one again.
you gotta wear the Post-it note again. It's like the Kojima. What's that character in Metal Gear Solid that like she breathes through her
Quiet?
skin? Yeah.
Yeah,
she-
quiet.
It's like that. It's like, no, you don't understand. My wife has to be in the Post-it note.
Yeah.
And there's a lore reason.
There's a lore reason, and you're all going to feel ashamed for criticizing the decision once you find out.
You're gonna feel so bad, and you're gonna say sorry to my Post-it note wife.
my post-it note wife.
That's also a major plot point in the next one. It ties into her scar
Yeah,
and her
we'll
having to
see.
be naked.
We do
We'll
have.
see.
There is one more movie. Even though I'm not going to be on that episode, I am going to watch it. I feel like I'm already 5 in. I might as well finish it off. You know.
Yeah, finish the fight.
And you know what?
Which I think is actually the tagline of the final chapter, which they just stole from Halo
Whoa.
3. They just stole it.
They did. Whoa. That's actually. I mean that's how they've sort of, you know, the whole series has just been, let's just steal things from other better things.
Yeah.
It's almost all Matrix. You know, like the Matrix influence cannot be overstated.
Oh, absolutely. And I was also thinking about this. This movie came out in 2012. So like making a Matrixy knockoff is very out of fashion. Like, this is a movie out of time. It feels like this was made in 2002 and sent forward in a time machine.
Maybe it was.
It made a lot of money. So it's like this is still serving an audience that I guess is being neglected by action movies around this time.
Mm.
I do like that hallway sequence. Yeah. How much does this franchise get away with just because the Umbrella Corporation has such a cool logo? Like, I really think that's like 80% of it.
Yeah.
I really like when she's in that room and they show like the shot from the top down, and the walls look like it's a really big floor, but it's like the walls. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it looks like it's a really big room, but she's actually just in a really small room. And something about it was just it was like very symmetrical, and it looked really nice on the screen.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like the set design when they do have physical sets, especially the Umbrella Labs. I like the super sterile look of them. How everything just looks like the room from the end of 2001. Wesker appears on a screen explaining that both he and Ada both no longer serve Umbrella, and the power outage was staged by him. The Red Queen, one of Alice's arch enemies, was reactivated after the hive was contaminated and now controls Umbrella. The underwater facility, formerly a Soviet naval outpost in Kamchatka, Russia, was designed by Umbrella for manufacturing clones and creating simulated outbreaks to show the effects of the T virus. Ada and Alice aim to rendezvous with a rescue crew organized by Wesker, which includes Leon S. Kennedy, Barry Burton, and Luther West. Leon's team plants explosives near the entrance, which will detonate in 2 hours to ensure its destruction. The group plans to meet with Alice and Ada in the Raccoon City suburbia area. In a New York simulation, Alice and Ada defeat two executioners. Leon's team enters a Moscow simulation but is surrounded by an armed Las Plagas undead horde. Okay, so that's like 45 minutes of the movie.
That's a big chunk of the movie.
That's like half the movie, basically. Um,
The-
I love how shitty, and it's constant through all the movies, but I love how shitty the exposition is. Like, Wesker is just talking to the audience for 5 minutes, explaining who Ada is, explaining who he is, explaining everything about the plot that the movie didn't like properly convey at all before.
but you know what? At least Wesker is watchable. Like that dude. I don't know if it's a direction he received or he just understood like instinctually. But he the way he delivers his lines is like it's not it's bad in the sense that it's like really corny, but it's just I think it's perfectly suited for this kind of story. Like he's not like he's overly serious, but it comes off as like smirking at the audience.
Yeah, I don't think he's bad. I don't think he was bad in Afterlife either.
No.
He kind of gives me like he's like doing an impression of Agent Smith, like 20%, and then the 80% is like you're saying, like this campy, corny, but like kind of playing it straight thing. And it works. It's not like Game Wesker 1-to-1, especially not
No.
with the words coming out of his mouth, but like it's not as if Wesker in RE5 is like, I don't know. Thomas, you could speak to it better than me, but he's not like the most well written villain of all time or
No.
something.
No, not
Um,
really. He does have. I like his voice in that one though. He's like, "Oh, Chris, you've shown up at my facility."
Um, I noticed around this time that I think Ada's dialogue might at least partially be ADR'd. Like there were moments where she was talking and the her lip movements weren't quite syncing up to what she was saying. I wasn't interested enough to look it up after I finished watching the movie, but it did seem a little off, and I believe the actress is mostly in Chinese movies. So
Yeah.
it could be that like somebody else dubbed the voice. I don't know. I'm gonna go look this up real quick. You guys,
She didn't pull a Christopher Lambert where she learned English for the movies.
I gotta watch Highlander.
okay, she is definitely yeah. So Resident Evil Retribution was like her big Hollywood debut, basically. Like she had been in Hollywood movies before then, but like that was when she really started to gain steam. She's yeah, a Chinese actress. I think they may have dubbed over her. I don't know. She's in the Meg movies, which I haven't
That's I
seen.
was gonna say that's where I know her from. Like I recognize her from those movies.
I don't think she's bad as Ada though. She's fine. But yeah, the wig is pretty bad. The dress is ridiculous, and then you had the ADR on top of that, and it's like, plus she has nothing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's yeah.
This was the first part where we had a look at our overpowered original character Alice, where she basically solos the two Axemen because Ada goes on a bus and is like getting attacked and then not doing anything, and Alice is like, "Oh, let me lure them over here." And then they shoot that car 3 feet away, and they're just completely fine.
I do love that as Anderson was writing this on a typewriter in a castle somewhere, you know, he's in like the Spencer mansion from RE5 on the balcony, thunderstorms in the background, and he's writing this script and he's thinking, how can I top the executioner from Afterlife?
I've got it.
Yes, I'm a genius. It's like, there's still a ton of enemies from the games they haven't done yet, like the Hunter and
Yeah.
honestly
Maybe.
the Tyrant. Like I know they kind of did the Tyrant at the end of the second one,
Yeah.
but like,
Third
or
one.
no, the third one, sorry. But yeah, like it would have been cool to see something like that. But no, just two X guys. Two X-Men.
Who are already just like Pyramid Head stand-ins. Like,
Yes, I was thinking of that the whole fucking time because that's literally the end of Silent Hill 2. They're like, what do we do? I mean, Pyramid Head's already been chasing James the whole game. Fuck it, we'll just do two Pyramid Heads.
just throw two at him.
They kind of confirmed that they're bioweapons, though, which kind of makes me confused about the last one because does that mean that that Umbrella sent that to that prison? Or was they just like make him and then throw him on the land and just have him roam around?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. In the last movie, the executioner shows up with no context at all. Like at least Nemesis, they explain like this is our basically like a bioengineered Terminator, and it's like the X guy is just there. He's just walking around LA, and he just happens to find his way to the prison.
We had the return of fan favorite Luther West,
Yes.
known military man, definitely not an NBA player.
Thank you. I felt insane. I was like, isn't this dude just a sports guy? Why is he here with these like mercenaries for hire?
That's what I thought too, because I'm like, I know that they wanted to do something with him because they didn't kill him off in the last one, but this seems like a weird pivot.
Yeah, it's also like, how would he reunite with these people? Like, he was in a sewer drain at the end of the last movie, and
That's true.
this movie starts with the boat exploding. It's like, how did Wesker find him, and why? Yeah, why would Wesker recruit him? I don't know. It's pretty funny though. I guess we don't know how much time has passed. Maybe he went through a giant like training montage that we didn't see.
Where's the Luther West spin-off film?
Yeah, let's get it.
They had one. It had Idris Elba, and it was called Luther. It was on BBC.
It is kind of fun that like Alice and heroes from the games are working for Wesker. I'm always a sucker for that trope where like a past villain is now turned into an ally for the hero. Not that Wesker's even in this movie until the final like 5 minutes, but yeah, I like that. I mean, the story's dumb. I'm not saying the story's good, but I just like that trope. That is a trope I'm okay with.
I kind of had a dummy moment while watching this because I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that her husband in the simulation, with the clone Alice's husband, it's Kaplan from 1, right? Or it's one of those guys.
I thought it was Carlos.
I also thought it was Carlos. And then I'm pretty sure that it wasn't.
All right,
But
let's
he
look it
looks
up.
very similar.
He does look like one of the guys. There's like 20 guys in these movies that all look the same. So
No, I thought it was Carlos too.
all right, let's see.
Because they show like another version of him on the squad with Shade and Rain in the next. Oh wait, no, it does say in the next one. It says it's Carlos.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I'm stupid.
No, you're not. You're not. I mean, he's not a particularly like remarkable guy. And everybody from the first and second movie that's like a soldier from Umbrella all look the same.
They also didn't point out that it was Carlos because you'd think that Jill would be like, or not Jill. Wait, yeah, no, Alice. Jesus Christ. I'm getting confused because she looks basically like Jill in this movie. She's literally just Jill. But you'd think that she'd be like, holy fuck, Carlos? But no, she doesn't even say anything.
Yeah, the love of her life who she maybe spent like, I don't know, a couple weeks with and she made out with. Not even make out. It was like no tongue. It was just like a closed mouth kiss once. before she goes to fight the guy from Game of Thrones at the end of Extinction.
She has Luther now. She's over him.
I don't. Does that happen? And I just forgot. Does she hook up with Luther in this movie?
I just thought it was kind of implied in between this one and the last one that they were like a thing.
I was surprised. Not only did they get Michelle Rodriguez back, but they also got the guy who plays Shade, which Thomas and I both agreed was the best character in that first movie. He's the guy who's like the commander of the Umbrella Squad, and he gets cut up at the end by the laser.
He gets killed way too early in that movie.
Yes, that's what we were saying.
Way
He's
too
so
early.
fun. He's such
Yeah.
a good character, like very entertaining.
They love those lasers, man. They brought that shit
Oh, yeah.
back in this movie too.
And they used it in the games.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 came out after the first Anderson movie.
When I learned that, I lived my whole life after playing RE4 just assuming that the movie was like borrowing that from the game, but it's the reverse, which is crazy. Although, in fairness, they are kind of just stealing from Cube, but still.
I've heard some things about Cube. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, Cube is phenomenal.
I think I at one point saw that clip on YouTube, or maybe Live Leak. I don't know.
Live Leak.
I don't know if it would have been allowed on YouTube when I saw it as a kid. I kept thinking, like, because of the simulation stuff, first of all, Alice has such a dumbfounded look on her face every time they're moving from arena to arena. She's like, how is any of this possible? And she's like touching the rain and the cars. And every single time Ada has to remind her, hey, we're actually in a soundstage. She's like, clouds? How are there clouds? Why did we walk through clouds? And it's like, Alice, Wesker stood there and explained it to you for 5 minutes. He gave
She's
you the
also
whole layout of the map.
It's so awesome.
Even in the first one, she's like, we were outside. It was nighttime. It was raining. He's like, yeah, it was fucking dark on the ceiling and there's rain. Like, we shot some water in. Like, are you stupid?
Yeah. It also kind of feels like in that way, it's sort of Mercenaries mode turned into a movie. The characters are just plopped into these different levels and waves of enemies are just kind of thrown at them, which I thought was kind of fun. I don't think that was a connection that Anderson was consciously making, but
he was on set playing Mercenaries 3D on the 3DS and he goes, I have an idea. They also introduced the Las Plagas.
Yeah. Which I don't really
weird.
understand because I thought that was in the last movie with the stupid tentacle mouths.
No, those are Magini.
Oh, of course. Magini. Yes.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Is that from RE5?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
But isn't the RE5 parasite the same as the Las Plagas, but just like different name?
That's what I thought.
I think it's kind of some form of like the T virus mixed with Las Plagas.
Okay. All right.
Because they're like mouths kind of split open. It's kind of funny that they used the Magini before the Las Plagas. And then also it feels like it doesn't really make sense or like fit in this universe because I'm sure there's other ways that they can get it, but to me it's like, oh yeah, RE4 took place. And yeah. I don't see how that could happen in this universe.
There's just no rhyme or reason to anything that's happening in these movies or the production or anything like that.
No, absolutely not. And one of my favorite things, and I think it was, the beginning of Afterlife, when Alice loses her powers to Wesker, because he injects her with the thing to like cure her, so to speak, is they show the extreme close-up of Alice's bloodstream, and the T virus is shaped like a T. Like they're blood cells that are shaped like the letter T. And I think that kind of encapsulates everything about these movies because it's like, it's called T because of Tyrant. But of course, for these movies, it's all surface level. It's all wrong. And I love when Wesker's giving his speech explaining the simulation stuff that Alice just, doesn't listen to, I guess, that there's a hologram of the T virus blood cell next to him. So they're still doubling down on this stupid bullshit. I like at the end, jumping ahead, when they're out in the cold and they're like holding Ada. Yeah, they're holding Ada hostage at the end. And they inject Ada and everyone is just standing there in silence. And Leon just says, the Las Plagas parasite. And then nobody responds. Nobody says it because it's only there for the audience's benefit. But if you haven't played RE4 or I guess RE5, would that even mean anything? Like, if you're some fucking asshole going to see Resident Evil Retribution after work, that's not going to fucking mean anything to you.
Well, they also, I'm pretty sure the Red Queen earlier is like, Release the Las Plagas.
Release them.
They, the Red Queen, man. They have the like security camera POV with like the red filter over it, and like they had that from the first movie too, so that's fine. But I love how there's a video of herself, like a reaction cam, playing in the security camera interface. Why would she have that? Like, why would she even have a voiceover, let alone a full reaction cam in the corner?
Content creation, dude.
Exactly. She's streaming.
That's how it looks.
It also looks like they use like a
So awesome.
CGI child model instead of just using a child and putting like a red filter over it.
It looks really ugly. I thought it was a real kid with a filter
I thought
over
so
it, but
too.
Oh,
whatever they
I
did,
don't
it
know.
looks really ugly
It does
and
look
not convincing.
very, yeah, it looks very uncanny. Okay, and I know we've complained for a long time, and we have to move on. But I have to mention the uh, this is another moment when I was watching this movie. I felt absolutely out of my mind when they started mowing down like USSR soldier zombies.
Yes,
I was like,
yes,
what? Why is Umbrella testing a simulation
yes.
on Soviet soldiers? Like that's not the modern day. What is happening? Is the implication that they've been doing this for like that long? Is that the implication?
I think so. I think the implication is they took over the base, and the people working there were turned into test subjects. I
But why are
loved
they? I
I
just don't.
love the gun-toting USSR zombies
It
though.
was
I thought that was
so
fucking hilarious.
it was so weird.
maybe they just had a lot of like USSR clothing that they found in there, and they're like, "Fuck it, we'll just throw them on these
Yeah,
Well,
zombies."
dress them up. Yeah,
we're in Russia. I mean,
we're
we are
doing the
filming.
Moscow simulation.
We're
So,
filming on location.
oh, you mean on the real set? I meant like
I
Umbrella
don't even
on their
know.
soundstage.
Oh
But
no, I meant Umbrella.
I like that idea too. That like the fucking producer comes over to Anderson and is like, "Hey, they've got a warehouse full of 300 KGB outfits, so we just put the extras in them." Or
Jesus Christ. And that might be the moment in the movie with the worst visual effects because they're like like Leon and his team are like popping out of the windows and I swear to God it looks like those like on rails shooters from the arcade that has like the
yes,
FMV like terrorists. It literally
yes,
looks like that where it's like they have a line that cuts off like the graphics in the game in the FMV and they just like pop out from the line and start shooting at you. It looks that bad. It's insane that got passed like in that got past all every safeguard quality assurance whatever like that passed everything and made it into theaters. It's insane.
yeah, that was it was really funny. Maybe
It
that's
looks
Anderson's way of paying homage to the light gun games from
which is
Resident
fine
Evil.
but it like there
No,
has to be some aesthetic decision.
no. I mean, first of all, I'm sure that's not what he was doing, but I agree with you. Like, yeah, it looks ugly as hell. Again, there's no danger for anybody in this movie. Like, I never
No,
am worried
there
or care about any of them. First of all, nobody has any like real personality or depth or history or anything that I should give a shit about.
no.
But on top of that, they're always going to be fine.
Except the two Russian guys that came with them, and I was like, I don't know their names, they're definitely dead, and they got murdered like immediately.
Yeah.
In the suburban simulation, Alice and Ada encounter Becky, who mistakes Alice for her clone mother and becomes attached to her, even though they look nothing alike, but whatever. They also find Jill and the clones of Alice's deceased allies, James One Shade, Rain Ocampo, and Carlos Oliveira, who are sent to capture them. During a shootout, Ada stays behind so Alice and Becky can find their way out. The two encounter a good clone of Rain in the Moscow simulation. That's the same one from earlier. Um, Alice gives her a weapon to help keep Becky safe. She then rescues Leon's surviving crew from the Las Plagas zombies and a giant and a giant liquor. The group reaches the submarine pens and the facility exit, but are ambushed by Jill's team.
It's cool that they brought Shade back. And I guess Rain too. Like I did like those characters in the first movie, but I don't know, they don't have a lot to do here. Like anybody in any of these movies.
It just reminds you when there was like at least a modicum of thought being put into the character and story. You're like, oh yeah, I do remember that character. I remember them because they were interesting and
Yeah,
had things to
they
say
had
and do.
traits.
They had traits.
They had something. to grab
That's
onto.
anything.
It
Yeah.
felt like they were kind of going for almost a nostalgia angle here. Like, yeah, we have James One Shade, Rain Ocampo, and Carlos Oliveira back. Come to the
Yes.
theater, guys.
Yes.
Truly.
This movie is feeling nostalgic for itself.
Yes.
This is patting itself on the back. This is like the celebratory full circle film in this franchise. This franchise has not earned the right to be nostalgic about itself.
It's feeding you shit and then being like, man, I'm such a great chef.
Do you remember the shit that I force fed you 10 years ago? Doesn't the taste bring you back?
Oh, God.
Memories.
No audience is going to have reverence for any of these characters.
I fell to my knees when they showed up.
Yeah, right. I cried in the theater. Yeah.
Everyone clapped.
It's crazy. It's crazy. There's so many callbacks, and it's like also they're trying to mash the game stuff into it now so late because they don't really start putting the game stuff into it until the last movie, Afterlife.
And so lazily.
Like, yeah, there's Nemesis in 2, there's Carlos and Jill, but like they don't really start taking plot stuff until later. And it's like you're mashing it with the OC lore that you created for the first few movies, and it's like I don't know, it's a mess and nobody cares about any of this.
The way I sort of envision it is Paul W.S. Anderson is sort of like playing dolls. Like he's doing make believe with dolls. And he's like, oh, and I also have my OC Alice, like, and she's part of it too. And she's the most important character in the entire universe. And she can't be killed because she's binded with the T virus on a cellular level.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, in Extinction, she literally disables a satellite with her mind.
Yeah, where did that wait. Oh, she can't do that anymore because they took the T virus out of her. Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say, where did that go?
But she'll probably be able to do it again in the next one, which I can't wait for.
Exactly.
It's true. It's like he reached into a toy box and he's like, okay, well, I've got a Nemesis figure.
I have Pyramid Head for some reason.
I've got Mike Epps for some reason. I don't know why he has an action figure.
No. Lots of zombie dogs too.
Oh yeah, he loves.
They weren't in this movie.
Oh, that's true. They weren't. This is the only movie they haven't shown up in.
Wow,
that's actually
just
incredible.
made me realize that. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even notice their absence.
This series sucks. I'm not watching the last one. They took away my zombie dogs.
What the hell?
During the ensuing fight, Becky is captured by the Licker and Good Rain is killed. Alice rescues Becky and kills the Licker. Barry sacrifices himself, holding the Umbrella operatives off long enough to ensure the others escape. The explosives at the entrance go off. Leon and Luther escape, flooding, while Alice and Becky survive through the ventilation system.
The Licker is funny because it is like really cool because it's like a giant mega Licker, but at the same time it's just a big Licker. Like they could have done anything.
And it's somehow easier for them to kill than the one in the first movie, which was also mutated to be bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we already mentioned it at the top when we were talking about the history of the project. Like, this is Aliens. This is the end of Aliens, except it's worse.
Like, almost word for word. Like if Alice said, "Get away from her, you bitch," I wouldn't have even blinked.
Yeah.
I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. That's like pretty much par for the course for this series. Just like totally ripping a better movie.
Yeah. And I will say, in all fairness, Resident Evil also rips off Alien and Aliens constantly. When like every game almost ends with a chase out of an exploding facility with a fake out ending with a monster. But
that's actually true.
It's done better. And it's also a video game. It's a lot easier to see the comparison when you're watching a movie do it. And they even have like the egg sack with the person trapped inside, which is like what they're doing in the colony in Aliens.
Which they just had like random people in. I thought for sure Ada was going to be in one of them too.
Yeah.
And then it was just like some random guy and she's like, yep, I'm going to take these bombs off you. They did have, though, I was shocked that it took them this long because I don't remember them having them in any of the other movies, but they had a chainsaw enemy.
Yes, yes. I didn't take note of that, but yeah, one of the KGB guys, the USSR soldiers did have a chainsaw, and he was going after Leon specifically.
Because they always have those in the games. And I was like, oh shit, they haven't had one of those in the movies. And then Luther just shoots it in the back of the head.
I know from experience that one bullet will not kill those guys.
No. No.
There's also the really funny part where Barry, they're saying, "Come out, or we'll shoot Ada." So he
Yeah.
comes out and he like throws his gun up or something, and then gets shot, catches the gun, shoots Shade, and then just gets murdered. And I'm like, what was the point of that?
That was my favorite scene in the whole movie. I was laughing my ass off. He hits the Christ pose, gets shot 200 times, falls down, gets back up, shoots one guy, Christ poses again, and gets shot another 200 times. I was half expecting him to get up a third time because it was just so fucking goofy.
I
That
was
would've
too.
been
I thought it'd be
awesome.
really funny if he did that.
That would have been so awesome.
I think that was like, he was writing this and he's like, oh shit, Barry's like, he might be a fan favorite in the games. He's like, I'll give him one cool scene.
Yeah.
I did think it was really funny when the good Rain was killed. Just because
Yeah.
she got like launched at a wall and you just hear her neck snap, and then Luther's like, she's dead. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
unceremonious.
I had to get up for a second, and when I paused the movie, it was just Michelle Rodriguez in the Family Guy death pose.
I would. Well, it just begged it that her dying is just like, why was she even in the movie in the first place?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the movie does not change on any level without her. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Other
Just
than,
bizarre.
the fan service, which again, what fans? Like,
fans of
Us.
everyone's favorite character from the first Resident Evil movie.
it's baffling. It was very funny, especially because these characters go through so much worse. I mean, Barry gets slashed in the head and the chest by the mega liquor, and he lives.
He didn't
Right.
even
Even though
seem
he's-
that beat up about it either.
He's missing like a third of his face, and he's fine.
Well, I will say, I thought that the elevator wasn't working, so I was a little confused how they got it up to the surface.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't
He like
remember.
grabbed a lever and like moved it, and then it just went up, I guess. I don't know.
That's correct.
Did anybody involved in the production of this movie remember either? Like, do they even care?
No.
I don't like. I don't know what to say. That's all I can say.
I saw a bunch of critics and like people that I respect on Letterboxd giving this movie like 4 fucking stars.
That's
And I was
insanity.
ready for this to be the unexpected masterpiece of the franchise. And I didn't want to spoil it for myself, but they were saying that it was like really meta and like really subversive, and it's like, no, it's not. It's not any of those things.
It's really subversive. You know that movie Aliens? We took a plot point from that.
Remember that one line that Alice says about how shooting a gun is like shooting a camera? Well, that's everything to me. Okay. Well, yeah. I that was just an observation I had outside of the plot, and I didn't know where to throw it in. But I just think like it's really funny to me that this one seems to get such higher ratings across the board.
Yeah.
From people on Letterboxd anyway, whatever that's worth.
On the surface, their snowmobile is knocked over by Jill's submarine. Jill and evil Rain confront the group, holding Ada as a hostage. During the fight, Alice tears the mind-controlling scarab off Jill's chest, returning her to normal. Meanwhile, Rain, now enhanced with superhuman strength and healing thanks to the Las Plagas parasite, which is not how it works, joins the fight, kills Luther. Oh, she does kill Luther?
Oh damn.
And
Yes.
knocks out Leon. Realizing she was too powerful to fight, Alice shoots the ice under Rain, who is dragged underwater by swimming zombies. I did not get that he died at all. Like because during this part they're doing these weird like Mortal Kombat X-ray things. Where
Yes.
like Leon's arm breaks, and then she punches Luther, but then she does literally the same exact thing to Alice, and Alice is fine. So I just
Well-
assumed that Luther lived.
That's because Alice is bonded with the T-virus at a cellular level. No, it goes back to something that Thomas had pointed out in the Apocalypse episode, where there's like a room in the school filled with gas, and Jill throws a lit cigarette, to blow up the room, and nothing happens. And then Alice immediately throws like a match or something, and the room blows up. It's like Alice. And in the last movie, Riley, if you recall, Claire shoots the executioner in the head and nothing happens, and then Alice shoots him in the head and his head fucking explodes into 50 pieces. Alice she's just better.
She is.
She's the GOAT.
Yeah. Even though
She's the
she's normal.
LeBron.
Even though she's normal. This movie and the last one, she's supposed to be normal.
Yes.
I thought it was really dumb that it took her that fucking long to realize to take the stupid scarab off her chest.
I
Because
know.
she literally had this with Claire in the last movie.
Yes.
And I was like, are you that dense that you don't remember like taking the scarab off of her fixture?
Also, what a shitty defense mechanism on Wesker's part or Umbrella's part for Jill's scarab to just be so easy to remove.
In the games, you have to like pry it off by button mashing because it's like
Oh.
embedded in her skin. This one just seems like it's like glued on. We also had so we have the Las Plagas, Rain using Las Plagas and not the right way when she, especially when she shoots the bullets out of her fingers. I was like, that's not how that works. But then also, fan favorite Leon, he shouldn't be able to defeat her in a fight. So we're just gonna have Alice do it, and Leon just gets the shit kicked out of him and does nothing.
The more that we talk about this, the more I'm certain that this is just like fan fiction, like wife fan fiction. He's been giving millions of dollars to produce.
Absolutely. I don't know if there's ever been more of a wife guy in Hollywood than Paul W.S. Anderson. Like, there's some stiff competition, but I mean, he's turned her into an action star.
But you know what? Can you blame him?
No, she's very pretty.
She's a beautiful woman. And actually, like, outside of the movies, she is like a charming, intelligent person. I think, like, I've seen her talk before, and I'm like, yeah, we could, like, I would be friends with her. Like, that she seems cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. She's
I
going to save us
get it.
from AI, too.
I get it.
She just created her own language learning model and released it for free, and it's beating all the memory tests that the paid ones are failing.
Whoa!
Don't know if you heard about that.
Did not.
She's going to save us from the Red Queen.
That's oh my god!
She's actually Alice in real life.
Holy
this is a
shit.
documentary.
This is the origin story of Mila Jovovich. Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. She's a very pretty lady, and yeah, she does seem nice. Still so funny though to make an entire franchise.
More than anyone else I can think of, she gets pulled into like just some really dog shit movies.
Oh yeah, terrible.
Like she was in the really bad Hellboy reboot. Like that movie sucks.
That was great. What do you mean?
No, that movie is terrible.
Sorry, you're gonna have to be more specific. Which shitty Hellboy reboot?
The one with David Harbour.
Okay, because they've rebooted it again since then, haven't they?
Oh, I didn't watch that one yet. I've been meaning to watch that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen either of those yet.
The Guillermo ones are good enough.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Alice, Jill, and the remaining survivors travel to Wesker's headquarters, a heavily fortified White House staffed by the remainders of the U.S. military. Alice
The
meets
White
Wesker
House.
in the Oval Office, where he injects her with another strand of the T-virus, returning her superhuman abilities. On the roof, he explains that the Red Queen is trying to wipe out humanity. The remaining uninfected humans are in the base. The soldiers prepare to defend the White House against hordes of T-virus abominations. Fucking nonsense.
Unequivocally the best ending in this whole series.
I mean, it is. It is.
It's like
no doubt. Yeah.
seeing Albert Wesker in the Oval Office is just.
This is the stupidest, awesomest ending these movies have ever had. My one of my notes here is that it looks like a really expensive tower defense mobile game ad. The last
Oh
shot.
shit! It does. Join now and get Alice as a starting character. Use code wife guy.
Yeah, I love that they give her superpowers back.
Thank God.
It's like all right,
She
one
never
more
lost
movie.
them. Don't
One-
lie.
Yeah.
No,
she was
right.
basically superhuman.
The only thing
still.
she lost was like the fucking technomancy and the fucking force. You know, she was able to like push shit with her mind and stuff and hack computers by looking at them.
It's really funny when he injects her with it, and like she's mad, but she's just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm just gonna fucking kill you later, dude. Like, he's like, maybe.
Also, is she really that sad? I mean, she seemed upset in Extinction. She was like, was it Extinction? Or no, it was Afterlife, I think. Where she's like, thank you for making me human again. And it's like, why would you want to be?
Yeah. What is the negative for her?
Like, it seems pretty awesome.
There's like no downsides.
None at all.
I guess that she didn't feel like she was human, which isn't really conveyed very well. But that's what I got from that, was that she was that just glad that she could be human again and not bond with the T virus at a cellular level.
Yeah, I wish that somebody who was involved in making these movies conveyed that in any way, shape, or form. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
But I think you're right, but
They still got one more movie to
Hey,
turn it around, but
hey, the final
unlikely.
chapter could be the savior we've been looking for.
It could be Kino, it could be Peak, it could be Based, it could be all of that, every buzzword you could think of. We don't know yet,
But it
but
also could be cringe.
it could be dog shit. Yeah, it could be the worst thing ever. It's so
Why?
over.
Why is the Red Queen like evil now too? Because in the first first one, she's not. I mean, she's not evil. She's doing it for the greater good of humanity. Like she's evil to them because she's gonna trap them in there, but she's not. She's actually trying to save the world from the virus. But now she's like, fuck it, let the zombies take over.
Yeah, I had the same thought. Like that was one of the only interesting moments in the first movie is the twist reveal where it's like, well, no, she's not a rogue AI. It's just these people have all been potentially exposed to the virus, and I'm trying to save everyone on the surface. Now she's trying to kill all of humanity. Never explained. And how does she get out of the hive? That's never explained either.
That's gonna be like the first 5 minutes of the next movie.
Yeah,
She's
Alice,
the fucking she's the
guys.
fucking security system for the hive.
Just be patient. Alice will tell you at the beginning of the next movie.
That, you know what? You're so right. That is exactly what's going to happen.
That's all. You just gotta wait. Just be patient and wait for the opening credits to be done.
I have a couple other thoughts. One, Wesker just casually drops, which I don't know how he'd know this, but he's like, "These are the last surviving humans on Earth." And I'm like, on the whole planet, there's just the people in the White House.
Well, what I'm also confused by is how there are as many people as there are. Because in movie 3's prologue, we learn the fucking planet is a dust ball. Everything's Mad Max now. Everyone is fucking dead already. And somehow in 4 and 5, there are these other pockets of survivors. And with the final shot of this movie, it looks like they've got a whole fucking army in the White House. And there's a horde of millions of zombies. And it's like, how would any of this still exist? Like the numbers, the sheer numbers.
I mean, I could believe that there might be more people alive than what's there, and maybe just like out in the boonies somewhere where there's like no zombies. I don't know.
I mean,
just
that
seems
too.
weird to me that he's like, yes, these are the last people alive on Earth.
I guess we just have to take him at his word.
What else can we do?
Yeah.
I also really like how the last shot of the movie is just like that shitty bat just coming towards the screen like it's gonna eat you, and then it just goes to the credits.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody screamed at that like they did with the train from the Lumiere brothers, you know?
Oh, shit.
It's coming right for me!
In 3D!
That actually, they had to make it less scary because people were having heart attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were pissing their pants in the theater. We're not equipped with enough mops.
They release a real giant bat in the theater.
Are there any other game characters that we think are going to show up that haven't already? I guess Rebecca is the only one I can think of.
She's not going to
Rebecca
show up.
Chambers. If they pull out Rebecca Chambers for the final chapter, actually, mad kudos. I would be impressed.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, like, they've pretty much got everybody else now. They got Barry, they got Leon.
Mm-hmm.
Did they do Brad in 2?
No.
Brad.
No, they didn't. Brad was the pilot who dies at, in RE3.
They got to bring Brad.
Yeah, I guess that's probably it, because this is pre-7.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they could introduce Thomas's favorite character, Wesker's son.
They could do Sherry after not having established her in any of the previous movies.
And I wonder how many people are just going to magically appear again. Like, are we going to see Chris and Claire? Are we going to
100%.
see... Are,
It's going to be everyone. It's the last one. They got to go all out.
Avengers Endgame.
It's the Smash Bros. Everyone's here.
Yeah. I mean, I did spoil myself a little bit when we were talking about the second movie. We did find out by mistake that Jared Harris, the scientist in the wheelchair from Apocalypse, it shows up in the final chapter. So that's got to be a flashback. Whoa. Yeah, he's like, I made the T-virus to cure my daughter's
disability,
broken legs.
Broken legs.
Well, like I
think
don't know.
If this came out any later, or if RE2 remake came out any earlier, they'd 100% find a way to squeeze Mr. X in this movie, in the next one.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. We should move on to the next section here. I'm sure these will be very fast to answer.
So, did it work as a sequel to Afterlife?
Kind of. I mean, we get the direct follow-up of the Arcadia Luther comes back. What else would there be to follow up on?
It's just kind of like they go out and they go through like the cliffhanger of the last movie within like the first 5 minutes, and then they're like, okay, new plot.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of what they did with Afterlife. You're right.
Did it work as a loose adaptation of the games?
Fuck no. It works as a mercenaries movie, I guess, for like
That's true.
45 minutes.
Yeah, because that game is essentially just non-canon interpretations of already happening, like events that already happened. So
Yeah, this was something we copied over as part of the template from our last show, which, it worked better there. Nothing. The answer to did it work for this series is always going to be no.
yeah,
Until we reach maybe some of the later movies that don't have anything ahead of it, like Welcome to Raccoon City.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Zach Kreger movie, maybe.
Yeah. How do you feel about that so far, Riley?
Well, I am not a person who usually watches trailers for movies. I like to go in blind. However, because Resident Evil is very special to me, I was like, you know what? I want to see the trailer. I cannot contain my anticipation, so I watched the trailer. And in all honesty, I think the movie looks good. I have no doubt that Zach Kreger can make a good movie at this point. However, I was a little made a little more skeptical that it's going to be a better adaptation of the games. I don't know. Something about it just like seemed different, seemed off. Not in a bad way, just in a different way.
I'll tell you what it is. There's no iconography. There's nothing you recognize. There's no umbrella logos. There's no liquors or T viruses. There is a green herb in the background of one of the
There's a
shots.
green herb.
There is, yeah.
I'm gonna
When he's on the phone, I think.
If he uses that, 10 out of 10, no notes. He starts chomping on it.
Actually true.
What would your guys' reaction be if so the movie ends. You're about to get up, but the lights aren't coming up. So you know there's a mid-credit scene or a post-credit scene.
I think I already know where you're going with this.
And we open, and it's Mila Jovovich as Alice.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
shit.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of would be down for it. Because of how fucking insane that would be. I think I trust Zach Kreger to do something with that.
You have Stockholm syndrome, my friend. You watch too many of these movies, dog.
She should be eaten in like the first 5 minutes of the new movie.
Hi, I'm Alice.
That'd be awesome. Just pull it
No,
off.
I mean just Mila Jovovich herself playing herself or something. Not
that
Alice
just seems
the character.
Cruel. That just seems cruel.
Well, it's not her fault.
It's not her fault.
It would be funny to be like, yeah, we're not doing that shit.
The main character shoots her in the head.
They gotta kill Paul W.S. Anderson instead.
Yes. Or they could pull a Postal movie and have Anderson show up as himself, and everybody's talking about how much his movies suck.
Oh, do you think he'll have a cameo in the next one?
Are you really asking that?
Yeah. Well, no, like the sixth final chapter movie.
Oh, okay, got it. I thought you were talking about Kreger. A Kreger movie. No, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he had some cameo we didn't know about yet already.
He inserts himself as Alice's husband.
The final chapter ends with her waking up. It was all a bad dream, and she's married to Paul W.S. Anderson.
And she screams.
It's basically she screams.
This is even worse than the zombies.
The nightmare's never over.
Oh god.
Honey,
okay.
Do you want to read the script I just finished?
It's the next Resident Evil movie. Slipknot plays.
So let's go to the aftermath of release. Let's wrap this up. The critical and audience response on Rotten Tomatoes, the critical score was 28%, audience score 51, Metacritic 39, the user score of 5.
Is that out of 10 or out of 100?
I think it's out of 10, but that's still, looking back at the spreadsheet we have of all the critical and audience reception stuff, it's the lowest audience rating for any of the films on Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic. Critics don't seem to hate this one as much, but audiences have this one ranked the lowest.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
The critics are like, oh yeah, these shitty Resident Evil movies. This one wasn't horrible, I guess.
This is definitely not the worst movie I had to watch for this podcast.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely
3 is the
not.
worst, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Extinction's
three.
the worst.
Oh,
Just because it's
absolutely.
boring.
Yeah, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Literally nothing happens. I think 2 is fun. I think 4 is fun. I think this one is fun in like the same way that like yeah, you walk into it halfway over, it's playing on cable, you're just your brain is shut off, you know? You can't like look at it like a real movie. You can't
No.
treat it with that kind of respect, but like there are action scenes, things do happen, which is better than 3. And like 1 is okay. Uh 1 is just very cheap in a way that I don't think works in its favor.
Mm.
Like it feels like a movie they'd play on Best of the Worst. Like a good movie on Best of the Worst, but still, it's weirdly cheap considering the fact that it still cost $33 million to make.
Right.
And then finally, a new low record for the cinema score, C plus. The first 2 movies were B, the third and fourth were B minus, and now here we go, we're in the C's.
B minus is
Maybe
crazy.
maybe the final chapter can get us even lower. We will see.
An A. It's got to be an A.
It's got to be.
And as for the box office, this film had a budget of $65 million, which is the most expensive film of this series. That's kind of surprising to hear, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Afterlife was 60.
On domestic opening weekend, it made $21 million. It had a total domestic gross of $42 million, a total international gross of $197 million, for a total box office of $240.2 million. And it had a net profit of $175 million.
Yeah, just about.
Really
Yeah,
low domestic.
Yeah,
I was thinking
so
that.
Retribution made the least amount of money in its domestic opening weekend out of all of these. And its entire domestic run, actually, since the original film.
It's got to
Despite
be all
that,
the competition.
I mean, maybe. It could also be that, like, people are getting sick of these things. I don't know. Like,
How could you get sick of these?
I mean, again, this is a movie that feels like it's pulled out of time. Like, this does not feel like a movie that would be released in 2012. I mean, maybe I'm just looking back at 2012 with rose tinted glasses. I don't know why I would be doing that, but I feel like the movies around this time, like the ones we mentioned, they have more modern action movie sensibilities. Like, we're right around the corner from like John Wick, you know? Like, and
Yeah.
this is still doing Matrixy shit. But despite that, and despite also losing nearly $60 million compared to the gross of Afterlife, Retribution still made nearly 4 times its budget, and it cleared almost 180 million in profits. I mean, it's likely that these domestic figures and the drop off from the last film affected the producer's decision and Anderson's decision to wrap things up after just one more film, which we will cover soon. But damn, if this isn't still impressive. Like, these movies have been making. The first one made a lot of money. I've actually got the spreadsheet here. Let me just rattle it off for you, Riley.
Mm-hmm.
The first movie cost 33 million to make. It made 103.
Whoa.
Apocalypse cost 45. It made 129. Extinction also cost 45 and it made 147. So those first 3, they're just getting more and more popular. They're making more and more money. And then Afterlife cost 60, made 300. Inexplicable. Wow. I tried to find some kind of reasoning for this.
Yeah.
It had
what?
nothing to do with the Chinese box office. It had I just couldn't figure it out. And now here we have Retribution, cost 65, made 240. Still, like, yes, a drop off from before, but a huge sum of money.
That's crazy.
And like, not only is this in a world so removed from the shit that it's like aesthetically based around, but it's now come to the point where this franchise is existing in a post Avengers world. This movie came out in December 2012.
Holy shit. I didn't even think about that.
Like, it doesn't feel like that's where we are in time, but it is. And the MCU is going to fucking change, arguably ruin Hollywood franchises forever. And Resident Evil is still operating in the same way that sequels have been operating on, you know, for the past 100 years. Like, this is not a cinematic universe, and they don't give 2 shits about the accuracy to the games like they do with the comic book shit, you know? And I think that might be one of the big decisions in rebooting it, is like, in this movie, you see them make this attempt to shoehorn game stuff into it. You have the introduction of all these characters out of nowhere, these plot points from 5 and 4 across these past two movies. And I think what they're realizing is, hey, this Marvel shit might be the direction, that makes the most money. Like maybe we should have been making things accurate to the games, from
Yeah.
the start. And so I just think it's interesting that this franchise exists at a point where it starts where accuracy to the source material and video game movies in general are not taken seriously at all. And by the time we get to the final chapter, it's 2016. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like it's existing in a really weird period of time where like the whole industry is changing, and just not just action movies, not just sequels, but also like what they're prioritizing as far as audiences needs go or what they want. I don't know. I just think it's really interesting. And China is a part of it too. Like these movies do make a lot of money from China, not as much as you would think. When you look at the international like spread of where the money is coming from, it's a lot of different countries.
Hmm.
But I think the final chapter does have quite a bit from China, which might make up the difference because spoilers, the final chapter will make more money than any of the other films in the series.
That can't be
Uh,
true.
It's true. It's true, but we'll talk about that next time.
But before we cover Paul W.S. Anderson's swan song for the franchise he started, we'll be checking back in with Capcom's own efforts at making feature films canon to the universe of the games, with next week's Resident Evil Damnation.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. And before we go, Riley, did you have anything you wanted to promote or plug?
Thanks for having me on. I don't really have anything to promote, I guess. Everyone go and watch Exorcist 3.
There's a third one?
There's a third one, and it is one of the best movies ever made.
It actually is.
I made Frank watch it last year. It
Yeah.
is a banger.
It is. It is actually an amazing horror movie. Better than any of these movies. Riley, thank you so much for coming on the show.
No problem.
It was
Thanks
fun
for
to-
having me.
It was fun to have you. And you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
We'll see you all next week. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.